Okay, hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Tara and I make videos about digital planning and different ways that you can get creative with your iPad. So, if that sounds like something that's of interest to you, feel free to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you never miss a video. Does that feel too rehearsed? Because that's my spiel. Um, I have, as a lot of you guys know, I am working on trying to get more educational content out there. I want to teach you guys all the ways that I like to get creative with my iPad. This is something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I just pretty much have defaulted for the last couple of years to only doing plan with me's, and to me it's just I like doing the plan with me's, but I want to bring more value. So that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm trying to do. It's kind of silly for me to say that right now because I am going to be doing my next 3 lives, including this one, will be specifically related to my plan with me's. So I don't know why I'm making that announcement at the beginning of this video, but here we are. In case you heard that little clinking, that was me trying to get my bracelets off. Very obnoxious. Okay, so today we're going to start off just by sharing with you guys really quickly my sticker release. So in case you missed, I did a couple live streams about my digital sticker making process last month, and so in doing so you were able to get a sneak peek at my stickers. But if you missed those lives, no worries. I'm going to go over very briefly my 3 different color palettes and my sticker set that I'm releasing today before we jump into the actual planning part. And then today we're going to be setting up my monthly layout, and then I want to get these lives done because I like to use my planner when it's all pretty. So I'm actually going to do 3 days of lives. I'm going to do today, tomorrow, and Thursday just to get it out of the way. I want my planner to be pretty. I want to start using it. So we're going to do the lives as soon as possible. That being said, let's jump into the stickers. Let me just share my screen with you. And this is what, I guess I could have gone sideways. Yeah, let's do this. There we go. I'm getting fancy with my tech here. Hi Erin. So today, the first sticker set is this dreamy color palette. I really like this one. It reminds me of a bedtime story, which I think is perfect to go with the storybook. So as always, we have our first 2 pages, which are the same. The only thing that changes on this page of functional stickers is the washi tape. So we've got some glittery heart-shaped ones because it's February, and then we have some stars and some roses. And then I did go ahead and keep with that fun rip texture just because I personally liked having that last month. And then if you don't want it, you can always just excuse me, crop in those edges a little bit. You can't see me. I'm out here moving my arms, but my window is so small, so you can just crop them in. Hi, Sally. Oh, welcome. Ooh, from Australia. Okay, this is very exciting. All the way from Australia. So that's something, that's a lot of hours ahead. What time is it there in Australia? It's been a long time. I know I lived in Shanghai for a while, and that was 12 hours ahead, but currently is 13 hours ahead because they don't fall back the way that we do here in the States. And Australia was, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours more than that. It's got to be 18 hours ahead of me. Something like that. I think Australia's many hours ahead. I've been to Australia one time. I was only in Sydney. I'd like to spend some more time there. I was there for a week, but need a whole month or longer. Australia's big. All right, so that is page 2, and then page 3 is the themed page. So the theme is a fairy tale storybook kind of vibe. I thought that was perfect for February. So we've got some little princess hats. I don't know what these are called. 1:35 p.m. So if it's 9:35 where I am, I'm gonna have to do all the math. 13, what is that? That's 15, right? 15 hours? Someone check my math. I think that's 15 hours. It might be 16 hours. 16 hours. I think it's 16. Okay. Anyway, many hours. And then we've got some books I had to keep with, you know, the storybook elements. We've got this. I really like, personally, this piece because it'll fit with any of the books. And then it just kind of looks like there's, you know, book magic just kind of coming out of the book, which I like. We've got some roses, this enchanted rose here. We've got a little love potion, a tower, and some castles, more books. And then this fun star, like stardust magic thing too. And this, you can actually size it down and move it over on top of this, and it will lay pretty nicely. And I think it just gives this like beautiful, magical vibe. I love this. This is like actually one of my favorite pieces. I don't know about you guys, but it's one of my favorites. We've got a mirror. We have this bow with like a heart, kind of like a Cupid's bow. This was my snow globe from Christmas. Some of you may recognize that. And then I just changed it up, and now it's a crystal ball. And we've got roses, this cute goblet, and then a bunch of candles, giving Beauty and the Beast. We have Happily Ever After, like ink stamp. Not ink stamp, wax seal. Wow, words are hard. And then a cute little love letter with another one of those wax seals on there. And then we have some lettering here. Once Upon a Time, Happily Ever After, and February. I really do want to find the time to make this into a font. Ah, thank you, Erin. You're so sweet. She says it's all so perfect. Stop. Can't do these lives with the reactions. I'm gonna blush. I don't take compliments well, but thank you. And then we've got this cute little, I don't know, vine of roses, and then 5 adorable dragons. I'm so excited about these. I've mentioned this in the previous videos, but I was terrified of drawing these because, I don't know, it's a little out of my comfort zone. I think they turned out so cute. I failed the first time. They did not look great. I took a couple days break, and then I came back and redrew them, and I feel like they look so much better. But they're so cute. This one says, I love you. That one's shooting an arrow. This one is kind of like, it's giving dog. It looks like a pet dog. It's holding a rose in its mouth, and I just think it's so adorable. And then we've got one reading a book here, and one holding roses. Then we've got some lanterns. I think these are really cute. I would say if you do have the sticker set, be careful when you are selecting these, because the transparent box for this dragon, as you can see, the dotted line comes way down and covers most of this lantern. So if you're having any trouble grabbing this lantern, just grab it from the left side and you should be able to pick it up just fine. If you try to grab it somewhere in like the center, you're gonna have issues. I do want to see, I'm going to try this now that you can do this in GoodNote 6. I'm going to bring it to front, and then I'm going to see, let me just tap off of this, and then if I tap on this, now that it's in front, oh, that is a pro tip that I just learned. I'm definitely going to have to do, I'm going to have to do that more in the future when I make sticker sets, so that I can make sure I'm helping you guys out rather than making you crazy, because those transparent bounding boxes can really frustrate people when grabbing stickers. So that is a pro tip. Also, Erin says that she's amazed that I did all that lettering without using a font. I think what I want to try to do is turn it into a font, but I was thinking about trying to live stream the process. So if you guys are interested in that, I could do that as a live stream this month and show you how to basically fake a font if you're like, you know, not actually making one, but you want to create the graphics for one. I've actually done this quite a few times. Like, I've worked with brands who have fonts and they don't know what their font is, or they're not sure if the like graphic designer who made it just did like just like lettering by hand or something. They're like, I don't know, I have no idea what this is. So then I was creating this oh my gosh, retractable banner, this really big, like, I don't know, 10-foot retractable banner for a client of mine, and they wanted some of the highlighted pieces to be this accent font that was used in their logo, but as far as I could tell, it wasn't like an existing font. And so I couldn't get my hands on the font, so I had to recreate it graphically, and I used a very similar process to what I did in order to make these fonts. So I'll definitely put that on my list of things to do this February, and try to show you how you can take the structure, like the bones of a font, and then build letters so that they look similar and cohesive. All right. And then the last thing is this banner and this little scroll. Okay. We'll go through the other color palettes really quickly, and then we'll jump into the planning portion. So this is a like very 80s vibe. This reminds me of when I did the August stickers a year and a half ago. Those are some of my favorite. They were like skating party vibes, and they had a color palette somewhat similar to this. This is a lot of fun. I also used a color palette like this once when I made a pattern for like a snowsuit. I don't know. I like making patterns too. So anything you guys want to learn how to do, I'm here. I want to share. So yeah, here's the things that are different, right? The washi tape here. And then we have all of these cutie little stickers. I really like the flames here because they actually look like they're burning. Very fun. And then this is the last color palette. It's a bit more tame and just kind of like makes sense, I feel like. So let's take a look. Oh, I won't skip ahead. Here's the washi tape. And then here is, yeah, this page. There you go. I struggle so much with focusing on the chat and what's going on there, and also not losing my train of thought when I'm talking. Will it ever get easier, or will I always just be awkward? Okay, so those are the stickers. Does anybody who is here in the chat have a preference what sticker set, which color palette I use for my monthly setup? Normally I pick, but if you guys do have an opinion, feel free to put it in the chat, and if not, I'm just going to pick. So I'll give you guys like 10 seconds. Color palette 1, 2, or 3. So like the dreamy one, the 80s one, or this like, I don't have a name for it, but this kind of neutral. It just makes sense. The color palette that has a green dragon, pink hearts, you know, just makes sense. Okay. I'm not getting any responses, so I'm going to pick this neutral palette. That's what I'm calling it. Yeah, I'll probably use this one for my weekly and this one for my daily, which I love. But I use my daily the most out of everything, so. Okay. All right, let's jump in. So here is my February layout. Let me switch and make this vertical. Yay! Pink, purple, blue one. Ah! Sally. Okay, I can do that. We'll do the pink, purple, and blue one. You chimed in fast enough. I haven't started. Okay, so let's jump back over to this one. Okay, so for starters, I actually really like what I did in January of last month, this year. My brain is malfunctioning. I apologize. So what I ended up doing was like tracking my growth on these little sticky notes. So I definitely want to use that center section for that, I think. And then I had just like a random notes, sort of brain dump space, stuff I need to work on next month, my sprints, as I love to do, you know, and then I was able to track ideas for short form content, live streams, etc. Did not complete all those things, but I had a plan. We're almost there. So I think that's what I actually want to do. I actually made a secondary page here where I completely just planned other things. So I didn't want to like completely bog down this planner with all kinds of information, but I did a lot of brainstorming on this page for content specifically. So very busy. Okay, let's go ahead and I like purple too, Sally, by the way. It's a good color. My favorite color is orange, but then purple, and then yellow. And I don't know, I really like those colors together. I always have, but they kind of don't always go super well together. Sometimes. It depends on the shades, because purple and yellow are complementary, but you can mess it up for sure, and I have. Okay, so moving on. Let's jump into February. I'm going to follow like a similar process. And I don't think I saved any elements, so we're just going to make everything from scratch. I keep pressing the wrong buttons. Did you know that you could record audio and add it to your planner? You can do that. Okay. Let's use probably this thickness. Yeah, I think that's perfect. And then we need to pick the colors. So I already have my presets set up. If you want to see what those hex codes are. Purple heart text. Let me just add that in. Should be this one. Yeah, and I'm just gonna drag this down. You guys get to see this in action. I'm using Ecamm Live. Wow, where's the... Okay. Sometimes I feel like I can't see the little piece to resize it. These are the hex codes. If you have the stickers and you have GoodNote 6, you can always just like eyedrop the color. But if you don't have that, then you can set those up. I'm just going to leave that there. And we are just going to draw ourselves a rectangle. The thing that I like to do, though, is make sure that in my pen settings, I have draw and hold on, and then I have the fill color feature off. Because personally, I don't like to have the fill color. But you do you, whatever works. That's just my personal setting. And I'm just going to draw and hold, and it's okay if it's sloppy, because when you hold, then you can actually tap the little shape tool, and it'll bring up your nodes, and you can adjust this. The fastest way to do this is to go, you can just do it in 2 moves by just grabbing opposite corners. So line that corner up and line that corner up, and you're good to go. And then I think what I'm going to do is just duplicate this one, because I want to make sure it's the exact same size. So we're going to duplicate. That didn't duplicate, did it? That's supposed to, though, isn't it? Or is that copy? That's copy. That's duplicate. Just ignore me. And then we're just going to line this up. I want it to be perfect because I'm a perfectionist, a recovering perfectionist. And then we'll grab our shape tool again, and we're just going to drag this side in. I love the conversations going on in the chat. That makes me so happy. Yellow and purple are wonderful together. Okay. And then what did I do for my sprints? I need to know. January. Okay, so the first week of February is part of the January sprint. So I will come back and I'm going to draw my lines. I need one here. And I need to adjust that. It needs to go out a little further. Not that far. Tara, what are you doing? I also need to drag this in a little. And then we're going to do another sprint here. And then another one here. And so actually, this is bonus space. So I'm going to undo that last stroke. I'm going to take this shape and I'm going to bring it up to here. And then what I'm going to do is I created an element the last time that was the same color as my background. And I'm going to see if I can find that. Should be this one. And I'm going to grab the image tool now. Still getting used to some of the GoodNote 6 features. Because most of the month, once I do my setup, I just use like the pen and the eraser. I don't use a lot of other features. And so a lot of my stuff's still on autopilot. Yes, yeah, I agree. So Erin said, I'm going to highlight this, said that she still gets thrown off by the new options in GoodNote 6 for copy and paste, etc. If you were a GoodNotes 5 user, it was always words. So you wouldn't get confused. And now there's symbols, and the copy And the duplicate, like, it can be confusing. Duplicate makes sense because there is a plus sign, but also when you see like a page and then a double page, like it kind of feels like it makes sense to do that it's also a duplicate. So it can be confusing. I agree. Okay. So moving on from that, I'm going to take this piece that I just covered and I'm going to arrange and I'm going to send it to the back. And now I need to drag this down so that it doesn't cover up my priorities. Yeah, that's great. I don't know if I think it's fine. It's going to be fine. I'm going to put something cute down there. I'm trusting the process. It's going to work. Sometimes when things are like off balance like that, it makes my brain go a little crazy. But you know, we've all got our things. I am going to duplicate this. See, so in that situation, when you're in the image, like the picture setting on the menu bar, and you tap on something, you get the words. This is how GoodNotes 5 always looked. Okay, let's put our cute February lettering here. Something I know I want. And we're going to paste that. All right. What's next? Sometimes I don't know what I want to do. I definitely have to include the dragons. But why don't I, before I get ahead of myself, let's come back up to this element tool. We're going to tap this and duplicate it. And I probably should have just done that with the image tool. I think that would have been faster, but that's okay. I was thinking maybe I still will. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take a screenshot here. And I am going to tap on this and I'm just going to copy it. And then we're going to throw it away because I don't need to keep it. And I'm going to open up Procreate. And I created this cute little pattern earlier with the images. So if you guys want to see how to do that, I can also make a video on that. I love making patterns. I think it's really fun. But I was playing around with making patterns so that, I don't know if you guys saw on GoodNotes 6, you can now make your own patterns for washi tape. And you can have your own washi tape design. So I played around with seeing how this would look as a washi tape design. I have mixed feelings, but I can show you guys how to do that if you want. Making patterns is really fun, and I'm going to use this pattern here to make something custom and, I don't know, cute for my planner. So right now the background color is this light color. I think I'll probably end up wanting to make it darker realistically. But we'll see. So I have already made a smaller version of this. I think I'm gonna probably want something. This is probably appropriate. Let's test it out. So first what I'm gonna do is I'm going to swipe down with 3 fingers and I'm gonna paste that image that I had just screenshot. And I'm going to size this up just so I can see this, specifically this section that I want to customize. So I'm going to turn off my magnetics and gonna turn off my magnetics and my snapping just so I have a little more flexibility here. Maybe a little smaller. Okay, and then I am going to just lower, actually, let's keep that one up. I am going to take my selection tool with rectangle turned on and color fill, and I'm just going to draw in the shape here that I want to fill. So probably something like that. And then I am going to, if you need to adjust it, you can grab the transform tool, this little mouse, and you can adjust it. This would be uniformly, but you can free form it and bring it, you know, in on the sides, bottom, top, whatever. Love using GoodNotes sometimes when I want to fully customize something special in my planner. So I'm going to duplicate this pattern that I made earlier, and I'm going to bring this duplicated one to the top. The rest of these can actually go away. I'm just going to hide those for now. And what I want, maybe no, this will be good. I think I am going to end up turning all these settings back on, the magnetics, the snapping, and uniform. And I'm just going to do this, size this down again. Oops. There we go. I'm going to merge those together and duplicate it once and bring this down. That'll be good. Oh. I missed again. I'm not paying enough attention. Okay, so waiting until you get those yellow crosshairs, because that's how you know that it's actually where it's supposed to be and not just messing up. And then I'm going to make this a clipping mask. So that's going to clip it to that rectangle that we drew before. And also I can remove the background. And then what I want to do is, like I said, I want to use the space to track my social media growth, my newsletter growth, just stuff like that, to see if anything that I'm doing is actually working to reach more people. So I'm going to add a new layer on here, and I am going to take that selection tool again, and I'm going to draw out like a rectangle here, and I'm going to use the transform tool. Oops, I don't want to size it like that. Whoa. Okay, and I just want to make sure it gets centered, so I'm waiting for that yellow line there. And in here, I'm going to put some text. That does not, oh, that's centered to the page. So hold on, let me also center this. Otherwise, I'm going to have some issues. Okay, that's better. And we're also going to take another layer. Just doing this to be, I don't know, careful. I can easily mess stuff up. Okay, so I'm thinking that probably looks like a good space. But the top rectangular box is going to say like growth, and then as long as these are the right size, I'm going to move this over so that it lines up with that edge there. And I sort of feel like I want more space in between, so I'm going to come back to this layer. I'm going to freeform and just I'm going to turn snapping and magnetics off. It's driving me crazy. And just bring that in, duplicate it, and now I need to turn that snapping and magnetics back on. And we're going to move this over to this side, and I think that's a better gap. I'm happier with that. I'm going to merge those and duplicate it and bring this one down. Okay, and I think that that's fine. And we're gonna merge all those together, and then I'm gonna duplicate this one more time. We're gonna take this layer underneath, and I'm gonna swipe with 2 fingers to the right to alpha lock it. And you can also tap on here and turn alpha lock on. If you tap on the menu, you'll get that option. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to color drop one of these darker shades. So I'm gonna use that dark blue. I'm gonna fill this layer, and I'm going to remove that alpha lock. And I'm gonna come up here to my adjustments studio or adjustments menu, tap Gaussian blur, and I'm just gonna bring it up just a little bit. So at 5, I could do that and just kind of like bring it down and have a nice shadow. That looks pretty good, and then I could just reduce the opacity until I like it. So bring that down a bit. This is definitely an option. Another option would be to take what we just, before I nudged it. So I just undid it until I had that blur. You can now take the selection tool, tap automatic, and tap on the screen here. And you can kind of see by adjusting this threshold. And so like around the white space, you can see like a little outline. That's what I want, but I want to invert it so that the blue is the outline and the rest is transparent. So I'm going to tap invert, and now I've got this. Do I like this? That is the question. What if I try the purple? Maybe the blue is too dark. So I'm going to alpha lock this and fill this layer. Oh, I already did that. How did I do it so fast? I don't know. This I think kind of works. But I sort of think that I'm partial to the shadow, which wasn't my original intention, but here we are. So I'm just going to undo until we get to that point. I'm going to give this a nice drop shadow, reduce the opacity a bit. Okay, and now what we can do is we can just, export this as an image, or we can just swipe down with 3 fingers and copy all. Come back over here to GoodNotes, long press and paste. Am I crazy? I thought that was whiter in GoodNotes. Okay, hold on. Not in GoodNotes, in Procreate. I am crazy. Just visually, I thought it was a different color. I want this to be white. So I'm just going to change this to white. Yep, that'll be better. Much happier with that. And do the same thing. Swipe down with 3 fingers, copy all, and come back here and paste. And then I am going to crop this a bit because it's just too much. I don't want all that extra space getting in the way. And now we've got a perfect custom design that matches our stickers, matches the theme, and it can perfectly house the things that I want it to house. I could have added the text in Procreate, but I can also add it here in GoodNotes, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use my cheeky Collegian font, and I'm just going to tap here and type. I don't think I hit the paste button. That was weird. That was super weird. And I want to make sure that I have text boxes turned on. And I'm just going to center this. And then we're going to add more text. And let's say like newsletter. Newsletter. Speaking of newsletter, if anybody wants to subscribe to my newsletter, there's always that information in the description. Right now I only send out 1 email a month, but I think I want to start doing 2 if people don't mind. I just feel like I end up putting off my once a month newsletter because I want to make sure I have all the things I want to give announcements about. And if I just break it up and do 2 a month, then it's not really, that's not an issue anymore. All right, let's duplicate this. I'm just trying my best to center these. I'm just doing it visually. And then tapping the text tool here. Oops. I'm gonna tap YouTube. Fun fact, I don't know if you knew this, GoodNotes 6 has a ruler now. I say everything like it's new. Lots of you guys have been using GoodNotes 6 a lot longer than me. I used it when they were like offering the trial, and then I thought it wasn't worth it, and so I stuck with my GoodNotes 5, and now here we are, like, I don't know, a year later or something. And I am using it. Okay, so we're gonna move this down, select both of these and duplicate them. I think you can probably change the direction too, but don't quote me on that. Okay, so we've got newsletter, YouTube, Instagram. I don't know if I'm gonna keep posting on Instagram, to be perfectly honest. I'm really tired of Mark Zuckerberg. I've never liked him. I was really mad when he bought Instagram because I was always an Instagram girly and was never a Facebook person, and I really cannot stand him at all. And now in light of recent events, I really don't want to support him. So I'm trying to get myself off of Instagram, but that means like a loss of a community, which is kind of sad. So YouTube, Instagram, newsletter. What was the other thing I tracked last month? TikTok. TikTok. Okay, I'm just gonna drag this over, kind of center it. This one I don't think is very centered. I think I centered the text box and not the words because they're left aligned, so whoops. Okay. Ugh. How do I get rid of the ruler? Just tap it. There it goes. Yes, definitely, Erin. It's going to be hard to track Instagram growth. This might not, that might not stay. It's what I used last month. And I did have some growth, considering I wasn't really posting all that much. But I don't know. It might become something different. I'm thinking about, well, I have a Substack, but I haven't really started using it yet. I made like one post. I'm gonna pick a color. Well, this is tough. Let's just go with that blue. Yeah. Oh, I like this. This is cute. I could do something like this every month. How happy. Okay. Let's do more stickers now. Work with my stickers. So, do I want to do more of the grid paper like I did last month? I think let's use this one. Oops. I use my image tool, copy this, and paste over here on my notes. Do you know what else is fun? I learned when I was doing my stickers, when I was preparing my sticker documents this month, that when you're using the lasso tool in GoodNotes 6 and you resize, you can resize like from whatever corner. So if I pull on this one, it's going to stay anchored in the bottom, the opposite corner, basically. Which I don't think that used to be the case. I feel like it used to have the same resizing mechanism that the image tool does. So when you're on this and you resize, it resizes from the center. Anyway, that's a little fun thingy. Okay, this will be like a brain dumping space. I like to always have a space to put all my crazy ideas that pop in my head. Do I want to bring this down and then put some washi tape? I think I will. Let's find a cute washi tape. I really like this glitter. Let's do the light blue. No, the dark blue. I don't know. Yes, it makes it so much easier to get the right size now, being able to size it, from the side as opposed to having to always consider the center. It really does make a difference. I agree, Erin. I think want this over here. I was thinking last month about stickers that I just don't really use all that much anymore. I need to get more creative, I think. I feel like I used to be so creative, and then that sounds funny. I feel like I used to be more creative, though, with my setups, and I kind of stopped once I started making go-to elements because I would just like do the same kind of thing every month. And so I stopped using Procreate to like make fun designs and stuff. So I feel like I want to kind of bring that back a little bit, but I still want to be efficient in my designs because I know myself well enough to know that if it takes me too long, then I won't do it. Yes, I'm glad everybody in the comment section agrees about how painful resizing things was before in GoodNotes, because it really was. I am in full agreement. I'm going to take a sip of my tea because it's getting cold. Does anyone else drink tea? I have lavender tea because it calms my anxiety. I don't know if you guys can hear that with my microphone because it's on my chest. It makes me feel really bad, but okay, this is gonna be like a brain dump space. I do like the idea of, instead of having it this white, to use Procreate here and create like a transparent image. So a really easy way to do that is, I'm just gonna use the same file because I'm here, and I just hit all those layers, and we can just go like this, and we can drag this down to whatever level of opacity you want, and then we can simply copy, come back over here, paste. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. Let me try something really quickly. Let's see if we copy all, because I may have just copied the shape. Ah, yep, that worked. So if you copy all, it like copies the canvas, which has the transparent background. But if you just copied that first layer like I did the first time, then that is like copying that square block. So that's why that didn't work. But then I can just come over here. Let's get rid of this one. I like this so much more. I like being able to see the gradient behind it. I just feel like it levels it up way more. But it's personal preference, so whatever you like. I just try to get those edges to be similar in width till I'm happy, and then I'll let it go. Yeah, cold drinks in 91-degree weather. Thanks for translating to Fahrenheit for everybody in the audience. I appreciate you, Sally. So what is that in? I can do Celsius to Fahrenheit, like ballpark. The reverse is always harder for me. So I'm guessing that's like, let's see, 91 minus, I usually do minus like 30, 61 divided by 2 would be like 30, like roughly. Is that like, but I would say between 28, probably like 28 degrees, right? 29 degrees. I'm very curious. How close am I? Test me. I've lived abroad enough and traveled enough where I can I learn to think in one or the other, but I don't do a lot of translating, but I can usually ballpark it a little bit. 33. 33. The difference is, like, if there's a 5-degree difference in Fahrenheit, it still feels pretty much the same. If there's a 5-degree difference in Celsius, it's like it's so much. Like 23 versus 28 versus 33. These are massive differences in like what it feels like. But the difference between, like, in my opinion, 85 degrees and 95 degrees in the US, both are absolutely miserable. Can't stand it. Doesn't feel like there's a difference at all. I'm a winter person. Very much a winter person. But I know my little, like, backwards way of figuring out Celsius versus Fahrenheit is, it gets, the further you get to the ends of the spectrum is not, like, when you get below freezing and when you get up closer to like 100 degrees Fahrenheit, it is less accurate. But if you're in like a comfortable living range, which is, I don't know, in my opinion, like 50 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, it's pretty accurate, like pretty spot on. But when you, get beyond that, it's just guesswork, that's all. Okay, I'm getting distracted, too distracted. So we need some dragons. Don't you think we need some dragons? I think we need some dragons. I might also take this. This could be a good little filler. I get all excited about the dragons, and then what do? I don't use the dragons. Okay, so I was thinking, no, is this too much? It feels too busy. That feels too busy, right? I don't know. Is it too busy, though? Kind of. Sometimes I see people's planners that are really busy and I really like them. Is this a me problem? Do I want it up here underneath February and then change February? That's not what I wanted. I'm just like watching the screen to see how it looks at a different angle. Ooh, Canada's fun. Erin, you'll have to message me on Instagram for now, and we can chat more about travel because I love traveling. I had never, nobody in my family ever traveled, and I made a very spontaneous decision when I was 21 to move to China and spend 3 years there, starting a career that I had no experience in. It's not what my college degree was in. I decided I was just gonna go be a teacher. And it was a lot of fun, a really excellent experience. But in those 3 years, just with holiday breaks and free housing and good pay, I was able to travel to 30 different countries in 3 years. And it's like, it was a life changing experience. And I know a lot of people don't get to, just don't get to travel all that much, which I totally understand. But like when I was younger, I just thought people didn't travel. I thought you had to be like rich to travel. And now I am so poor and it is still my main priority and I still travel a lot. So, I mean, everyone's got their priorities, right? Yeah, if you ever want to talk about travel, I'm happy to talk about it. It's one of my biggest passions, if not my biggest passion. Okay, what do I want to do next? Let's take this little book. I feel like I want more creative space. I don't have enough creative space here. Should put this stack of books here. Just weird. Am I gonna regret this? Well, let's do something like that. I think that sizing looks good. But yeah, anyway, I broke down my travel wall, right? I thought travel was never going to be an option. And then I realized, oh, this is something that even poor people can do. And here I am, traveling as much as I possibly can on almost no money at all. Arguably very irresponsible, but someday when I'm older, I'll decide that it's time for me to be responsible. Okay, I'm going to take my pen tool. That's not the shape I drew. Let's just make a rectangle. What? Did you guys just see that? What just happened? Oh, I know what happened. My iPad did its glitch thing. If you've been watching my channel for long enough, you've probably heard me talk about how my iPad does this crazy glitch thing. It almost never does it in GoodNotes though, and it does it less in Affinity Designer. It does it constantly in Procreate. Drives me crazy. And anyway, I'm gonna take this shape that I just drew and held, and then I'm going to come in with my precision eraser, and we're just going to erase away around the part that says next month. I feel like we're wrapping this up and getting somewhere, and I don't really have a whole lot more I can add. I can do my numbers, and I want to figure out maybe a little something different to put into February here. Up at the top. Words are hard. So, yeah, Sally, that makes perfect sense. Australia is so far from everything. I mean, other than New Zealand. New Zealand is great. I don't know, is that wrong to say? I spent 2 weeks in New Zealand and I absolutely loved it. Do I want this? Yeah, I think that's how I want it. Okay. thanks, Sally. I get really uncomfortable. It's something I'm working on, but I like talking about travel, but I also feel like there's a fine line between like talking about my experiences and then sort of being like tone deaf that like most people don't travel that much in their lives, but I also want like just like with my art stuff, like I want to be able to encourage people to do that. I feel the same about travel because like I said, I had a lot of mental blocks my whole life thinking that like you just people didn't travel. Nobody in my family ever left the country. So like I studied abroad when I was a senior at my university, and at that point I thought that was going to be the only international experience I would ever have in my life, separate from maybe driving 6 hours into Toronto, right? Because I'm just below Canada. It takes me, I can get to a casino in Canada in like 30 minutes. So I'm close enough to Canada that I could have like that border experience, but without traveling like into all of the beautiful places in Canada. Like, I don't know, it's different, right? Like experiencing something just over the border versus like all that Canada has to offer. I never really felt like I would consider that or anything that my family did in Canada just over the border to be traveling. So yeah, because they've really only all been to Canada maybe, but that's about it. And so I don't know, just getting to see places, and doing so on a budget. And I do a lot of like, I do like trusted house sitters and stuff so I can stay places for free. So if you aren't allergic to pets and you like cats and dogs, Trusted House Sitters is an excellent website so that you can get free accommodation. And I try to, like, if you can get your work to allow you to do remote work, or if you run your own business online, you can take like however long of a vacation that you want to. And like I've done the last several summers, I've created a really good relationship with this family that I've been working with. And I do, each summer I do 1 month staying in Belgium with them. I won't be doing it this year though, because I will be overstaying my European visa in the next few months. I'm going to be in Italy for 3 months. But again, that is a volunteer job that I got, and I'm getting free housing and free flights. So I'm all about the free travel, or the like basically free travel, or free or basically free. That's my goal. Sally, I recommend going to the South Island. You probably know this, but the South Island is so unbelievably stunning. I think it's one of the most gorgeous places on earth. We spent 2 weeks just like renting a camper van and driving around, and it is breathtaking. Just one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. Okay, I don't know if I have anything else I really want to add. Maybe my dates. I'm getting carried away. I'm getting really carried away here. Okay, wait. Before I do that, I want one of these books. So I'm going to take the pink book. Yeah, I'm going to do the pink book. Just because I really like it. And it's just going to kind of go here randomly. I'm not super worried. Ooh, maybe I'm going to regret this. Oh well. I don't care. I don't think I can possibly regret the sticker. I like it too much. So we're going to do this cute little one here. We're going to paste it. And then place it here. Yay! And then we're going to grab the stars, and we're going to paste this on top there. I'm just going to zoom in so I can see a little better. Rotate this. Rotate it back. Probably would have been easier to have done these simultaneously so that I'd be able to keep them in line and similar in size. But I don't mind actually if it's like a little bit off, because I like having that white space underneath where it sort of looks a little like a drop shadow. I say as I basically move it back. Yeah, okay. I think that looks so cute. Ah, Ireland is lovely. I definitely think you should go. And let me know when you do. I've got all the recommendations. I will be your travel cheerleader. Okay. I think we're just gonna finish up here by using the date dots. If I can keep my brain clear. I don't know what's going on with me. Oh, I also didn't do my sprint stuff. Womp womp. So I should probably do that too. Am I selecting all these? Did I get them? Copy. I don't know. It's so weird. I don't like having the images, the icons. Okay. We're just gonna do, let's not do the blue. The dark blue. Oh my gosh. I don't know what is happening. Okay, delete that. And then we're just gonna do, because the light blue I think is harder to see, so I'm just gonna do the one date as the light blue there. Yeah. Okay, just had a little bit of a brain fart. And then we're gonna put these into place. Oh, I didn't even size them. Normally I size them, but this is working out. It's probably gonna, let's see. Will it cover like a 28? Oh, it will just cover it. We are in business here. That was just luck. I don't know how that happened. I always try to make sure that when I size them, they fit over at least the largest number. So that I don't have to resize them all and redo everything. So we don't need, well, we need 16. But then we don't need anything in this row. So we're just going to throw those away. I am being really sloppy with my lassos right now. Oh well. Okay, and then we don't need this row, so we're just gonna delete that. We don't need that one or this one. And we'll just put these in place. Then I'll just add in my little markers for my sprint tasks, and that is where I will leave things. I'm going to leave the beauty, all the credit to the beauty of this spread to the stickers, because I think it is the stickers that have made this. They've done all the hard work. Has nothing to do with me, just the stickers. Oh, I think it's really pretty. Oh, Bali is expensive though. Wait, Bali is cheap? Is it just a cheap flight? Because, like, I've done a lot of Southeast Asia travel, and I haven't done Bali yet because the price tag is, like, higher. Maybe I'm crazy. Did I just hear that? And so I stopped looking and never decided to go to Bali myself. I think for what it is, and all, like, because it's kind of luxurious for Southeast Asia, that it's cheap, I guess. But, like, compared to traveling other Southeast Asian countries, maybe it's not. Or maybe I'm just wrong. I haven't been to Bali. So I'll put it on my list. Okay. It technically was already on my list, but I just hadn't actually thought seriously about going to do it. What do I want? I would like to use one of these. I just don't. Maybe I'll use something from over here. Let's use these little cloud ones. Okay, so I have something wrong. I like wasn't circling. I'm having all of the issues today. I think this is going to be every time. Okay, so we're going to copy those ones. Though realistically, I don't need all of those colors. what happens? Oh, set angle. Okay, so if we want to add a 90-degree angle. Hey yo, I'm learning. Okay. Let's paste those stickers. I wonder, I'm thinking as far as like measurements, instead of using the guides, because I usually like make guides. I also realize I can't lean down because then my face isn't in the window anymore. So I need to get 4 of these here. So let's just see the distance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So maybe we make each of these like somewhere close to 4, 1, 2. Okay, maybe a little under. Maybe like 3.5. Do I think that's gonna work? Let's see. I always make a guide because that's easiest, and I could use the ruler to do that now. But now I'm just gonna test out this and see how well it works. So let's duplicate this, and I don't know, bring it up, and then duplicate both of these. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I've got a general space here. We're gonna resize these together. Yeah. Okay. And then I'm just gonna try to basically kind of do that same thing. So let's, oops. I'm just gonna duplicate this and try to line them up with the bottoms here. This is not my best method. I was just trying something new. So with the cloud, I'm kind of like looking at the bottom, the like lowest curve of the cloud. I feel like they're more like puffs. I'm calling them a cloud, but I don't know. You know what I mean. And if I wanted to, I could like move this over and make sure that they're aligned so I can see that they're not perfect. But do we care all that much? Like, is it that serious? Do I need to be this picky? Probably not. The answer is usually never. Okay, and then I don't need this one, but I do need the purple. I'm not going to be as picky with this one. As long as it's close, I am happy enough. And then duplicate. Duplicate. Okay. I'm just going to move this out of the way for a second. And we're just going to lasso on like the far left so that I don't grab any other shapes. Oh no. Okay. Let's duplicate. Oops. Duplicate and not copy as we just went through this. Is that not going to fit? It should fit. I don't want a sticky note. Ugh. These new images, they'll be the death of me. They need to be smaller. Gonna undo. Womp womp. Okay, let's make them a little smaller. I'm just going to, let's start with the pink. And then duplicate. Yeah, that'll do. I think that's acceptable. Again, not going to be crazy picky. It's all fine. I do hate that this image kind of covers that space, but I don't want to move it because I think it's so cute. You just move it down a little. Maybe I just do less in the last 2 weeks. Actually, you know what? I'm going to be in Hawaii. I'm definitely going to do less. Doing less. Just setting less goals. Yeah, I definitely agree. An align tool would be super helpful in GoodNotes. I should just be grateful. They've come up with a lot of really great things for GoodNotes 6, but I think that would be really nice if they could add something like that. Okay. This is the end. Let's hide our ruler. We don't need that anymore. Wow, I really like it. This is cute. Not to toot my own horn, but I really like it. I think this is cute. Okay, I'm happy. If you guys do have my stickers, if you guys do any digital planning, I would love to see what your spreads look like, what you come up with. You can always tag me in Instagram. If you purchase them on Patreon, you can share them with me in Patreon. There's like a message chat feature if you want to join Patreon. That's in the description as well. There's 3 different tiers, and I don't know, I think it's lots of fun. I like growing that community over there. But there's also, if you just want to like purchase something one-off, you can do that via Etsy. Those links are also in the description. And if you want to share with me that way, you can either send me a direct message, or you can, of course, leave a review, and you can add images to your review. So totally up to you if you want to share. I love seeing what you guys come up with. It brings me like the biggest smile to my face. But yeah, I mean, obviously that's up to you, but just know that anytime that I see anything from you guys, it makes me so incredibly happy. So that's where I'm going to leave this. I think the spread looks really cute. It's going to be perfectly functional, and I can't wait to use these stickers. Tomorrow and Thursday, I will be doing my weekly setup and my daily setup. Same time. And those are already up on my YouTube. They're already scheduled. So if you want to get notified, you can just pop over there and request that you get notified so that you don't miss it. Anyway, yeah, okay, that's it. I'm going to go now. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I had a really nice time. I'm going to finish my tea, which is now cold, and I'll chat with you guys again soon. Bye!